Okay, hello second graders. Today we'll be going over Math Magazine 15-6, which is going over multiple step word problems that all have to do with time. So just like we've done in the past with these multiple step problems, you should start by circling and underlining any important information you will need. For that, I mean like any times in this case, like any numbers that you're gonna need, and also what it is you're actually looking for. So in this example, Anna needs 15 minutes for math homework and 20 minutes for reading homework. If she has 45 minutes for homework, how much time will she have left? So the first thing we have to do is figure out how much time she has already spent doing homework. So that is our hidden question. The step one that we have to do is find out how much time she has already spent. So you'll take how much time she spent for math, 15, and add how much she has spent for reading, which was 20. Altogether, she has spent 35 minutes on homework. Now that we know how much time she's already spent, we can find out how much time she has left. So she had 45 minutes to do her homework. So that was the total. It's up at the top. 45 minus 35 times she's already used gives you 10 minutes left. So the answer to the answer is that she has 10 minutes left to do her homework. But we had to answer this hidden question first in order to answer our actual question. Okay? In the guided practice, as you can see, I tried to circle for us. So you start by circling and underlining the important information, like that she needs 2 hours for tap, 3 hours for ballet, and what we're looking for. And she has spent 8 hours that whole weekend. How many hours did she spend on Sunday? So the weekend is Saturday and Sunday. We all know this. So step one would be to find out how much time she has spent on Saturday doing dance. So 2 hours plus 3 hours equals 5 hours. Now we know that she has spent 8 hours the entire weekend. And now we know that she has spent 5 hours on just Saturday. So step 2 is going to be 8, the total hours for the weekend, minus 5, the total hours for just Saturday. This will give us 3 hours left, and that is Sunday. Okay. So the hidden question here was how much time did she spend on Saturday? Because we had to figure that out first before we could answer our bigger question. Okay. Number 2. Again, we start by circling or underlining any information that we need. Like Greg draws for 10 minutes, so I need to know 10 minutes. He paints for 12 minutes, so I need to know that too. The art class lasts for 45 minutes. How long did he have to color? So I'm assuming that he only draws, paints, and colors in art class. There's nothing else. So the first step we need to find out is how much time he spent on drawing and painting. So step 1 would be 10 plus 12. 10 minutes for drawing, 12 minutes for painting, gives us 22 minutes spent on those activities. Now we know the total class time is 45 minutes, and we know now that he has spent 22 of those minutes doing drawing and painting. So step 2 will be to find out how much time he has left over, which is 45, the total number of minutes for the class, minus how much time he has already spent doing other things. So 45 minus 22 gives him 23 minutes for coloring. The hidden question here was how much time he spent drawing and painting, because we needed to figure that out in order to figure out how much time he had left for coloring. The do you understand asks you why you needed to subtract in step 2 of question 1. So back to that question. We needed to find out why he needed to subtract. So we needed to subtract because we knew how long she spent dancing the entire weekend, and we knew how much she spent on just Saturday. We need to find out how much time she had left. Remember, left is a key term that always means to subtract. We need to find out how much time she had left to dance on Sunday. So answer I wrote is you needed to subtract because you needed to find out how much time was left. Okay, now it's time for the independent practice. Within these independent practice, you will be asked to write down the hidden question. Remember, we talked about that a little bit. The hidden question in the first question here was how much time did she spend on Saturday? Because we need to figure that out first in order to figure out our main answer. For problem 2, we need to find out how much time they spent drawing and painting in order to solve this one. So the hidden question is how much time did Greg spend drawing and painting? Since you need to do that as step 1. So keep that in mind and keep thinking, what do I need to do? What is step 1? And that is usually your hidden question. Okay, now is a good time to pause the video and then come back to it when you are done to check your answers. Okay, so we only had 2 more questions for you guys to answer, as on the back it gives you like digital activities that you can do. So question number 3, the children make lunch for in 44 minutes. Then they eat for 23 minutes. If lunchtime is 90 minutes long, how many minutes are left to wash the dishes? So now I'm going to start by thinking to myself, what needs to be step 1? This will give me my hidden question. Step 1 needs to be how much time did we spend making lunch and eating lunch. So hidden question, how much time did they spend making and eating lunch? That's step 1. So we have 44 minutes making the lunch, 23 minutes for eating the lunch, to give us a total of 67 minutes already spent in lunchtime. Now we know that lunchtime is 90 minutes long. How many more minutes are left to wash the dishes? And that word left, again, always means subtraction. So we have 90 total minutes minus 67 minutes already spent in step 1. That gives us 23 minutes left to wash the dishes. Okay. Number 4, Nicole built a sandcastle for 26 minutes and swam for 34 minutes at the beach. She also looked for shells for 32 minutes. How long was Nicole at the beach? Okay, so in this one, our hidden question's a little more difficult. It is how much time did she spend doing just 2 of these activities? Because it's easier to add 2 together and then add the third one than just adding all 3 at the same time. So I chose to add 26 and 34 first because 6 and 4 will make a 10 and that will make it easier for me to add. You can add it any which way you want. If you add 34 and 32 in step 1, you'll end up with a 6 and then you'll have a doubles fact for step 2. So it does not matter which order you add these in, as long as you add 2 together first and then add on the third one. So like I said, I chose to do 26 plus 34 first so I could end up with a 10 because 4 and 6 make 10. And that led me to 60 minutes. And then part 2, I need to find out how long she was on the beach. So I took how long she spent on those 2 activities and added in looking for shells, which was the last one that I hadn't done. And that got me 92 minutes. Okay? So now you'll be working on workbook page 227 and 228. Remember to circle or underline any important information and think about what you need to do first. What's your hidden question? And then what are you being asked to do after? Okay, good luck.